how to get hyped for 2024. If you are determined to go into this new year differently than you've done for previous New Year's, then this episode is for you. Now, you're probably in one of three potential states of being when it comes to New Year's. You are either very hyped about it, maybe you have great plans, maybe you're very excited for the future and you're all in and really jazzed. Or you're feeling the opposite. You're dreading going back to work if you've been off work for the holidays, or you're just dreading the remaining weeks of winter if you're in a place where it's winter, and just feeling kind of blah and would prefer to just ignore it as a holiday and ignore it as a demarcation line. Or you're somewhere in between. You're kind of neutral. You'd be fine just going forward and treating it like any other day. You don't necessarily want to think ahead, think about goals, think about future, anything like that. So if you are in any of those three states, then you are in the right place today with this episode. I've been all three of those scenarios at different times on different New Year's as we wrap up one year and head into another. And in full disclosure, full transparency, this year, I think I'm in all three states. I keep sort of bouncing back and forth between each of the three states. I have hope and excitement for the future. I'm feeling like it's another day and I don't need to do anything totally extra about it. And I'm also dealing with the recent death of a friend, colleague, mentor. And so I'm trying to find space for all of these experiences, which has been a very interesting dance this past week and for this holiday season. So in full disclosure, that's where I am. In general, I love looking ahead to the new year. I love setting new intentions. I love sort of having a clean slate and thinking ahead of what the year may bring and what I want my life to look like. That's usually where I am. So if I was to summarize what I'm going to share today around how to get yourself hyped, how to get hyped for 2024, it comes down to some simple things. Watch, listen to, and do something that excites you. Watch, listen to, and do something that excites you. And it could be any combination of those things. I'm going to share some of the resources and some of the things that I do. Obviously, I have a lot of internal things that I do, whether it's journaling, whether it's practicing gratitude, whether it's getting outside in nature. All of those things really help me to give me a boost. When it comes to trying to have clarity and plan and look ahead to the future and really goal set and create some momentum in the up leveling of my life and stepping into expansion, it takes some more intentional action. And sometimes I'm not quite sure what that action is. So I'm always looking for other people to help, to guide me, to do it alongside me. I find a lot of strength and comfort in that. So I'm going to share some of the things that I have been using. First, those of you who know me know that I'm a huge fan of Mel Robbins and her podcast. She has released a workbook, a best year workbook that she gives for free. I will put the link to this in the show notes. And it really, really takes you through everything. And there's an accompanying podcast episode. It's the one that she released on December 21st. It's called How to Make 2024 the Best Year, 6 Questions to Ask Yourself. So she very simply walks you through these 6 questions to help you sort of assess where you are, assess where you want to go, assess what it's going to take for you to get there. Really, really helpful. Strongly recommend it. Another free resource, of course, is this podcast, Blueprint Breakers. I went through and picked out 3 episodes that really jazzed me up and helped me. And if you haven't listened to them, I will recommend them. And if you have, you may even want to consider listening to them again. The first one was called 5 Ways to Raise Your Energy. And that was my interview with JJ DiGeronimo. I released that on August 22nd. She had a lot of great ways of reframing perspective and talking about how to raise your energy, how to raise your energy level. Number 2 is from my longtime coach and mentor, Carrie Wilkerson. And her episode is called Status Quo or Status Grow. Status Quo or Status Grow. So go in and find that episode. And then the third one is I invite you to revisit episode 50, which I called Rewrite Your Blueprint. It was a broadcast of a workshop that I gave in October on how to plan out what you're working on, how you are expanding and up-leveling and pivoting. How do you redesign and rewrite your lifestyle blueprint? So you have those 3 episodes that will help you really get going and get moving for 2024. Next up is something that I just completed. I just completed a half-day workshop with Corinne Crabtree. She is my health and weight loss coach and mentor. She is CEO of the No BS weight loss program for women. And she's offering something really cool. She did a half-day workshop today, but she's offering a 1-month membership where you could get access to the replay of today's workshop, which really shows you how to kickstart any weight loss that you're interested in. If that is an element of what you're looking for and an element of where you're trying to work on for yourself, some years I do, some years I don't, then she is a fabulous resource. I'll put my link to her program in the show notes as well. I do have a referral link for that, so I get a credit if you do end up signing up. So she's offering like a 1-month sample of the program, and then you can choose to continue or not continue at the end of 30 days. But she has a really no-nonsense approach to getting healthy. And it's more about thought work, more about how do our emotions impact our health, and how we approach eating, how we approach exercise, actually how we approach anything. I also did an interview with her last summer about getting healthy with Corinne Crabtree. So feel free to check that out, but also, check out her sample there. My other coach, Brendon Burchard, I am part of the Growth Day coaching program, which I strongly recommend. A wonderful way to get access to a whole team of coaches, a whole plethora of information and support and inspiration in a very budget-friendly way. Growth Day, highly recommend. He is offering a free New Year's Day workshop. It's on New Year's Day. He's streaming live from LA. Can't remember off the top of my head the exact time. But again, I will put notes in the show notes on how to access Brendon's New Year's Day extravaganza. So in summary for this episode, I wanted to give you some very basic tools to get hyped about 2024. It's all about watching or listening or doing something that excites you. Now, for me, when I tap into the strength and wisdom of these mentors, of these coaches, they help me to reframe how I look at different things, and they get me excited. They help me to see possibilities and open up my mind to possibilities. And then I'm able to act on the things that I want to do. I'm able to get things done. I'm able to get outside. I'm able to get excited. I wanted to share that with you as some of the resources. And as many of you know, I've been offering workshops as well. I've been offering introductory sessions to the upcoming group that I'm launching in January, the Stuck to Stellar Support Circle. And the whole goal of that is to have a small group of women who are working through these things together. I will help guide, I will facilitate, I'll be doing it along with you, but the intent is to help us work through these things together. So you can get some more information around that as well. If you have any confusion about any of this, about how to find the different things I've mentioned Mel Robbins, I've mentioned Growth Day, I've mentioned Corinne Crabtree and her program, I've mentioned my program and my podcast. So many resources. Send me an email. Just drop me a line, amy@amyapalmer.com. Give me a brief description of what you need, what you're looking for. I will send you direct resources, some free, some for low cost, either way. So just send me an email, amy@amyapalmer.com. Let me know what you need. I will hook you up with the right source. In the meantime, have a wonderful new year. My intent is for you to have all the fulfillment and peace and happiness that you have in your heart. Thank you to you, the listener, for being a fabulous blueprint breaker. Keep on breaking those blueprints and writing your own.